You're watching News Channel 11 in your corner this morning.
It's a cloudy morning here in the Tri-Cities as it's race weekend. Today is Saturday, August 20th. Thanks for waking up to News Channel 11 and ABC Tri-Cities this morning. You're taking a live look over Johnson City as you start your day with us. Good morning, I'm Callie Durham. Here's a look at some of the stories heading your way during this next half hour. Citizens in our region have a few more choices to consider in November than just the presidential election. Plus, details on the merging of the region's largest health systems will update you on their progress. But first, high school football teams in the Tri-Cities are back on the gridiron. Last night, teams fought for the first win of the season, and one team is preparing for a special homecoming. Back in May, Cherokee High School quarterback JT Brooks suffered a spinal cord injury during a football scrimmage in Rogersville. He was paralyzed and has been at a hospital in Atlanta ever since. JT's father says he will be able to come home on September 2nd. His story has gained widespread attention through a social media movement using the hashtag #Fight4Five.
Hey JT, Peyton Manning here. Hey, just want to tell you that you're in my thoughts, you're in my prayers, and I just encourage you to keep fighting, keep the faith, keep a positive attitude. I know that's easier said than done, but I know you got a lot of people pulling for you and praying for you, and just want you to know you can add me to that list.
Legendary quarterback Peyton Manning showing his support as well. And as a way to help with JT's medical bills, the community hosted a golf tournament earlier this month.
I'd like to thank the participants, the volunteers, the sponsors, and the community for everything they've done.
Now JT's family is planning his first trip home. He'll be at the Cherokee High School's home game on September 2nd. They're calling it the Whiteout Game and asking everyone to wear their Fight4Five shirts in support of JT. While the operator in charge of rides at the Appalachian Fair says it's inspecting all of its rides before the fair opens. But News Channel 11 has learned that operator Drew Expositions was fined in 2011 for an incident that killed a worker. A company manager says the worker fell while on the job in Greensboro, North Carolina, but says he's confident in the safety of the rides at the Appalachian Fair. The Appalachian Fair's festivities begin on Monday. And keeping an eye on local politics, come November, voters in Washington County, Tennessee will have more to consider than just who will be president. The qualifying deadline for candidates to appear on the November ballot in Washington County races was at noon on Thursday, and there are 3 new faces seeking a seat on the Johnson City Commission. 3 of the 5 Johnson City Commission seats are up for grabs. Johnson City Commissioner Jeff Banis is not seeking re-election. Mayor Clayton Stout and Commissioner Ralph Van Brocklin both qualified to be on the ballot for re-election. Todd Fowler, William Bud Hill Jr., and Joe Wise are also seeking first terms on the commission. The general election is set to be held on November 8th. There will also be races for the Jonesboro Mayor and Alderman and the Johnson City School Board. For a full list of candidates in those races, just visit our website at WJHL.com. Well, Tennessee's Supreme Court has a new leader that will soon take over as the highest-ranking judge in the state. The court selected Justice Jeff Bivens to take on the title of Chief Justice next month. He will replace current Chief Justice Sharon Lee. Governor Bill Haslam appointed Bivens to the Supreme Court back in 2014. The Chief Justice is responsible for the court's administrative functions. And East Tennessee State University says students can expect some changes this year as the school says it's working on several campus improvement projects. One of those could include millions of dollars in renovations to some campus dorms. We spoke with ETSU President Dr. Brian Noland. He told us Tennessee's General Assembly will likely give ETSU $25 million to renovate and build an addition to Lamb Hall. Plus, Noland says many of the projects that are currently underway are actually ahead of schedule.
From small projects like the data center, we're building a new home for IT on campus. That project is ahead of schedule. The football stadium is ahead of schedule. The building we're standing in, the Culp, is going through programmatic design.
Noland says ETSU will also break ground on its new Performing Arts Center sometime during this academic school year. And when ETSU students return for their fall semester on Monday, they'll be dealing with a new law that allows full-time faculty and staff to carry a concealed handgun. We checked in with public colleges here in the Tri-Cities to see just how many full-time faculty and staff members have went through campus police to be able to exercise this new law. As of Friday, East Tennessee State University reports that they have 37 faculty and staff who have completed the process to carry a concealed handgun on campus. Northeast State Community College reports that they currently have 8 people who have filed an intent to carry notification. Virginia State Police are warning residents of an ongoing phone scam. Police say the caller claims they are from the IRS and then demands payment by verbally threatening and intimidating the person on the phone. Also, the caller's ID number used by the scammer shows up as a legitimate IRS local office phone number with an 804 area code. When receiving one of these calls, police say if you do owe taxes, do not share any information with the caller, but instead they recommend that you call the IRS. If you do not owe taxes, report the scam call to the Treasury Inspector General for tax admission. That number is at the bottom of your screen. You can also find that number on our website, WJHL.com. U.S. Marshals Service is looking for a man they say is armed and dangerous. Ronnie Dwayne Massey is wanted by both the U.S. Marshals Service and the Russell County Sheriff's Office for armed robbery, use of a firearm to commit a felony, and grand larceny. If you have any information on Ronnie Massey or his whereabouts, you're asked to call the Russell County Sheriff's Office tip line at the number you see at the top of your screen. Again, law enforcement officials believe him to be armed and dangerous. Today marks the 10th day since an East Tennessee State University student disappeared. 20-year-old Diana Guzman of Greene County was last seen in Chuckey over a week ago. The sheriff's office is still investigating her case. We told you on Thursday that the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation has also joined the search. Detectives tell us they're still trying to track down leads in the case. If you have any information that could help find Diana Guzman, you need to call the Greene County Sheriff's Office. That number is at the bottom of your screen. Business leaders in the Tri-Cities say they want the state to approve the merger between the region's 2 largest hospital systems as soon as possible. Mountain States Health Alliance and Wellmont Health System are trying to merge into one system. We found out the Kingsport, Bristol, and Johnson City Chambers of Commerce sent a letter to the state of Tennessee requesting that officials act quickly on the merger approval process.
We wanted to say to the commissioner that, hey, we are still supportive of the merger. We encourage the process to be moved along as quickly as possible, as thoroughly as possible, so that we can achieve the merger.
In a letter back to those chambers of commerce, the Tennessee Health Commissioner said the state is still waiting on Wellmont and Mountain States to provide information that was requested back in March. That's information the state says it needs in order to deem the merger's application as complete. Here in the Tri-Cities, people are buying supplies to help those impacted in Louisiana by flooding. Ridgeview Elementary School in Gray organized a supply drive on Friday morning. The school spent the day collecting food, water, toiletries, and clothing. Those items will be delivered to those in need in Louisiana on Sunday. Donald Trump seeks to attract African-American voters to his cause as Hillary Clinton detours from her campaign trail to spend time with family. We'll have the latest from the campaign coming up on News Channel 11 and ABC Tri-Cities this morning.